Hey, pet pals, welcome to the O Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Now, our special guest is one of the stars, and let's get a good word here, heroes, on the A&E popular show, Hoarders. Now, hoarding is a mental condition. It can and does impact pets who live with people who just can't stop piling things up in their homes. Our special guest is going to talk about that. Please join me right now in giving pause and applause to a very remarkable man, Brandon Bronaugh. Welcome, welcome, Brandon.
Thank you, Arden, for having me. I'm so pleased to be here.
Now, I understand when you're not on camera with the show, Hoarders, you're the CEO of a company called Life Cycle Transitions. Okay, come on, explain a little bit. What is that?
Well, Life Cycle Transitions was created in the celebration of the cycle of life. As people get older, as situations change, circumstances change. And we created the company to mirror those changes, both mentally, physically, emotionally, to navigate the pitfalls of trying to figure out how to downsize, how to deal with the emotional baggage that often clutter, let's admit, sort of attributes to, and also make some decisions on when to put the house on the market, how to deal with it from an aesthetics, structural standpoint, if there's things that need to be addressed, and how to prioritize that, eliminating the stress and the anxiousness that often comes and mediating the right solution, because maybe the husband wants to go here, the wife wants to go this direction. And then of course you got the adult kids that are really just anxious to help mom or dad sort of figure out the best course.
So you like to be in a job that has a lot of places you got to watch where you step in because you could cause a mess, an emotional mess, right, Brandon?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we're walking into a lot of the emotional concerns that families don't quite know how to deal with.
And I'm loving your tone. You're not hyper. I don't think a person who's helping hoarders in that condition would be sounding like an auctioneer or a screamer. I think you've got the perfect, voice and tone. I mean, what made you pick this area? It's not easy.
Well, you know what? I often tell people that I could have chosen a number of things. At times, I wonder why didn't I ever sell ice cream? Who's mad about ice cream? But I had a plan, and God had a different one. He had a better one. I wanted to just create a company that sort of helped people under one roof. I wanted them to be able to have a one-stop shop, and I was purely focused on the actual home for the most part. But then, as you can imagine, you touch everything that touches you, and realizing it's broken my heart when I've been in these homes and I'm literally seeing a lot of these animals that are suffering, and the look on their face is though they want me to come rescue them. They're like, get me out of here. And, and far pronounced to the client that's calling us to the home to help them. When you impose questions or concerns like, listen, you have 2 or 3 or 4 animals and you're not caring for any of them in the manner that they should. I know you love them. I know there's a lot of care and compassion, but do you feel in your heart that these animals will be better served in an environment where they can be individually loved and treated, with the affection and the care that they deserve? And, sometimes you're able to get through to them and you're able to talk them to a place. And we've been successful. We've been really successful at rehousing and relocating clients through our home rescue program, where we will come in and we would arrange to get the properties acquired, find them a new home, rehouse the animals, get animal cruelty and shelters involved. We've even adopted a lot of animals within our client pool of transition clients. We would post the picture of the animal and the clients that we've seen that were looking for companionship animals. We would send a text or an email.
Can you share a specific of something that you felt good about because you were able to help the person that has a hoarding issue, but also get the care and love that a pet needs?
Yeah, I had a situation, unfortunately, with a family where a young man was in his early 20s, in the peak of his life. He unfortunately he unfortunately overdosed. And
Okay.
in the wake of that, we transitioned the condo onto the market so that the family can, do what they need to do with the property. And the cat that was in the home that he was caring for, um, we actually had one of our clients adopt the animal. And the family was so excited and so ecstatic because, they know how much this cat meant and to their son. So we were able to show pictures and updates for many years, at least 4 years. That cat lived a really good life with this particular client, but unfortunately, he passed away about 3 years ago. But it meant a lot to Life Cycle for us to be able to
Yeah.
do that, and we've done that. I want to say about 3 or 4 times. With various transitions, not always clients that we were able to use, but sometimes we were able to transition them into rescues.
And where are you based? And is this an opportunity across the country to place these animals, or there's a good network of shelters and rescues?
We're nationwide. We originated and started in Massachusetts. That's our
Mhm.
home office, but we cover the entire country, and we're working our ways into Canada and far beyond. We believe that we're the missing link when it comes to people going through real life situations. Because let's face it, we get the call when something's going to happen, or something needs to happen, and we'd like to educate and inspire people to be more proactive rather than reactionary, Arden.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And your team is kind of got a lot of different occupations, if you will. Can you kind of run down some of the experts on the life cycle transitions team? I mean, it's not just, it is you who obviously
Mhm.
knows how to counsel on hoarding, but there's other kinds of people you need on your team. It's like a football
Oh,
team.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have over 200 plus technicians that serve our clients' needs throughout the country. We have
Okay.
transition coordinators, behavioral specialists, social workers, case managers. We have our home care division that focuses on transitioning clients to and from hospitals and nursing homes. We're the only company to be endorsed through major healthcare companies
Oh,
as a partner, I mean, which is when I saw and foresaw a lot of these environmental concerns and how they affected individuals pulmonarily and through COPD and through the respiratory failure. When there's smoke, there's fire, and
yeah.
when there's often hoarding, unfortunately, there's mold. And a lot of these clients, especially with the dogs,
Oh,
they don't understand the environmental conditions and concerns that cat urine, can do to you if those litter boxes and things aren't done.
no, let's get into poop and pee for 200, Brandon.
Yeah,
Seriously, this
yeah.
is serious because if they're not cleaning up after their pets and the pet isn't getting to go outside the dog and the house reeks of smell and stain, tell us what the medical issue is for both the person and the dog or the cat.
Well, we just recently rescued a client in Houston who contacted us and said, "Hey, listen, I'm in trouble." She was young, early 30s, and she had acknowledged the fact that she had been in this home that she just recently bought, maybe 3, 4 years ago. And she said, I want to leave. I want to go." And this is the part, Arden, that we don't talk about. There are a lot of clients that want to leave, know that the situation has reached the point of no return, and it's untenable and it's unhealthy, but they stay, and unfortunately they suffer too because they can't find a place to get the dog and the animals.
Ah,
So in her case, she wanted to leave the home, but her biggest concern, Arden, was, what am I going to do with my pets? I can't leave them. And their fear is that the animals are going to unfortunately be put down. So, our job, you mean your job, is to educate them and to inform them that just because you get your animal rehoused or there's a rescue agency involved, these animals are not always, in most cases, ever going to be put down because you can't care for them. And in her case, she had eight pets.
wow.
6 of them were cats, 2 dogs, and the animals had, unfortunately, defecated. There's fecal matter all over the floor. There was urine all over the place.
That had to
We
be
literally,
pungent. I
it was
I I burning.
it was incredibly, and literally the smell, the aroma, the acidity, the ammonia that comes from these situations was permeating a block, almost a half a block, 4 or 5 houses before we got to her house. As we got closer to her home,
Are you kidding?
the neighbors were directing us to the house that we were going to,
You
because
didn't need a bloodhound to find the scent. It was right there.
it was right there. And first thing we did is obviously we wanted to open the doors so that the place can ventilate, because we were smelling it with the doors, the windows, and everything shut. That's how bad the
Wow.
situation was. So what it does is it affects their respiratory system. You got nausea, you got disorientation, vomiting. You're essentially you're suffocating yourself. I mean, you're putting yourself in such grave condition. It's unimaginable that people don't feel these symptoms, but over a period of time, they become somewhat immune to these elements. So in her case, we had to literally take down the entire floor all the way to the subfloor.
Oh, yeah.
It's a massive undertaking when people don't care for their pets, and it gets to this point.
So people tune into our show, Brandon. We have a zillion that do, and we've been on the air since I think 2006 or 7. We're the longest running pet podcast on the planet. So
Oh, wow.
they're not all my relatives tuning in right now, Brandon.
Mhm.
How can people help this situation? Where can they go lend? Because people have different talents. Some people have fat wallets. Some people have time on their hands. Some people have, skills. How can people help out what you all are doing?
Well, I mean, for one, you can lend your voice. If you know someone or have someone that has experienced certain situations, go on to programs and platforms like yours to share those positive stories. Acts as a conduit for encouragement. And especially in hoarding situations, I've noticed the more we talk about these things, the more we have these candid conversations, the better we are basically extinguishing the shame and the embarrassment that goes
Good.
into
Yeah,
it.
that's important. It is a condition. It isn't, I know some people that have a lot of stuff in their homes and they say,
Mhm.
well, it was from my mom. And I look at the chair and it's held together by masking tape and duct tape. And I'm like, your mom passed away
Mhm.
when? Well, she passed away 45 years ago, but I can't get rid of the chair. So it is an emotional attachment in some cases,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, absolutely. And when you think about the pets and you think about people that hold them, they're not objects. These pets all have personalities,
Yep.
identities. And so it's easy for these individuals that suffer from hoarding to have such a strong connection and a bond. The key to breaking those bad habits is to really bring home to them the importance of making sure that if you love them, that we have to learn how to love them in the right way.
So if you suspect a neighbor or a friend who has pets is hoarding and it's going to impact the health of them all, what's the first step they should do?
First thing they should do is they should communicate with the person in question. I don't recommend having the town or the city just sort of show up at these people's doors without
Yeah.
giving them proper notice of being able to fix the situation. Then give them a little bit of time to address the situation. And if they don't address it in a timely manner, then you let the people in your community know. If you're living in an apartment, then it's probably important that you let the men have these bylaws. If you're a condo owner, but if you have a situation where you have a family member involved, life cycle transitions will be a great starting point, because
Okay.
we focus on the actual transition of getting the home to a situation where it's sustainable. Because in some of these cases, they can handle the 2 or maybe 1 or 2 or 3 pets if the environment is conducive for the animal to live and move and about freely. So if we can
Yeah.
address that, we'll give them a chance through our transition care plan, which is a slower, more long-term approach after 17 years of realizing that some clients can't go in and do a hoarding project in 5 or 7 days. But you know what? They can do a hoarding project one time a week over 7 or 8 weeks. And
I
that's what the
like that.
transition
You
care
really
plan.
have to. I saw an episode with a gal named Angel, and you and your team were very gentle with her because this was
Mhm.
hard for her. And so it's like, maybe 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of, right?
Yeah, we're the only company that we do our intake forms, a large percentage of them with our behavior specialists. So instead of just having a cleaning or a junk removal company person come in to do your evaluation. We've created our transition evaluation assessment to have case managers, social workers go out and meet with the client so that we can get that one-on-one connection.
All right. What if you could have a trait dogs have that we don't? What would be something you wish you could? What's your inner dog trait, Brandon?
I would like to sniff out more hoarding opportunities to help more people.
Oh my gosh, I didn't expect that. Okay, all right. Got a little bloodhound in your nose wish, right?
Yeah, a little bit of that.
All right. Hey, everybody. We've been speaking with Brandon Bronaugh. He is the CEO of Life Cycles Transition. And of course, he's on the A&E show Hoarders. I want you to check out that show. Brandon, I really salute you for what you're doing to help people and pets that need help and they can't speak.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And I really do commend you for all the work you guys do as well on Oh Behave.
All right, we got some people listening, so hopefully you get some help coming your way. At this time, I also want to give a shout out to my producer, Mark Winter. He is the executive producer of Pet Life Radio. It is the largest pet radio network on the planet. And he's not a clutterer. He's not a hoarder. He's just a nice guy. And everybody got some big news. When I'm not behind the mic, I am a master certified pet first aid and CPR instructor. I do it with my real dog, Kona, my real cat, Casey. Everything is veterinary approved. Please check out Pet First Aid for You because we offer 3 ways for you to learn how to help a pet: in person, interactive Zoom, and self-paced courses. So please check that out if you would. And until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.